Therefore, the mystics have advised, you want to study and know, if you want true knowledge, go to that point from where you can see the whole thing. Then you will have true knowledge. And that's only from inside. When you go within to your own self, to your total self, the real self, all the questions are answered. You get complete description, a complete knowledge of every detail of how different levels of experiences are being created, how they become realities. And as I was telling, that when we are here, this is physical reality, is our only reality. When we go to the astral plane, the ethereal reality, the state where we don't have bodies like these, we have bodies. Those bodies move around. They are similar to these bodies. We can walk and we can fly. There is no gravity. They have a lot of things. We communicate telepathically with each other. We have so much knowledge of things. We can pull out knowledge from a library, an astral library. Everything that you have here in its pure subtle form is there, from where it's being solidified into material dimensional world that we are seeing here. But that experience becomes the only reality. At that time, that's the only reality. We come to know that's real. The physical world was not. Then we come to physical world, this becomes real. Then what happens to that experience? Become like a very lucid dream, like a very strange, beautiful dream, more real than this, but it was a dream. Why is it a dream? Because this is real. This is a problem, that we only have hold on one reality at one time. Therefore, we cannot hold 2-3 realities. When we go to the causal plane, we discover the whole thing has been created from the mind. And there is a universal mind becoming individuated because of the experience below. And that is why the truth is that everything is being created from there. It was a projection from there. We find out all that. But then we find everything is unreal except that level. So we live in that thinking that's the only reality. We go higher up, discover our own soul and find out this, our own consciousness was the only reality. Everything was created outside of it, was being created for experience outside. And the soul is the only reality. So at one time, right up to that point, Par Brahm, what they say right from here, from the asthul physical state to the suksham state of astral, to the karan state of causal, to the pure spiritual atma state of atma, all are only one reality at one time. When you transcend that and come to your true self, you discover all the realities were being created and all are illusions and all are realities at the same time. You get a full picture of what all is. That's the only point when all of them can be experienced once and all are real and all are unreal. And you can step into any while still staying in the other. And you can then continue to work anywhere you like in any level. Perfect living masters are in that state. Gurmukhs who reach that state, disciples who reach that state are in that state where they can experience all realities at the same time, all illusions at the same time. That is why when perfect living masters come here, they are able to see the whole thing. They don't see one part of it. They are not enlightened people who just once got enlightenment and are coming to teach us something. They are carrying that enlightenment, total enlightenment, with them when they are in physical bodies amongst us, sitting with us. They look like ordinary people, but their awareness is total at that time, even in the physical form. And that's what makes them most extraordinary, because they can give you answers to your questions about any level. They can guide you no matter where you are. They can also tell you where you are actually stationed while you're still thinking you are the body. All that system I'm talking of, that is levels of creation and levels of consciousness, is not unique to anybody. We all have it. There is nothing special inside a perfect living master that we all don't have. There's no special God sitting in him that we don't all have. We all have the same thing, all humanity, all human beings, no matter where, having identical things. We all are equally qualified and equally equipped, equally endowed with everything. The only thing is, how much are we aware of it? How much have we blocked from our own awareness? And we have not blocked because somebody pushed us. We blocked ourselves for a unique experience called creation of reality. That's why we blocked it. Otherwise, the whole thing could be illusion. The whole thing can be made real. And when we make one real, it becomes absolutely real because nothing else is there to compare it with. So that is why I am giving you a broad picture. I must have taken it from a book, I think. Maybe a book called Manual of PLMs or something. Manual of Perfect Living Masters. I am telling you the big picture that when we meet a perfect living master, who is he? What is he seeing? What is he looking at? Is he looking at just the person in front of him? Is he just looking at the things around him? Or is he looking beyond that? He is looking at everything. He is looking at the total picture at all times. It's a very different experience. He's also looking that the one he's looking at is part of himself. He's looking that there's nobody outside, just a created image. He's aware of that and yet operates within that. Because the show must go on. This is the show. And this is the show of consciousness and of totality of consciousness. And that is why these perfect living masters, they need not say they are masters. They need not do anything to show they are masters. They are still masters. It's not saying or showing something that makes them. It's their awareness that makes them. And their awareness is total. And therefore, they are one with the playful one. They are one with the same. And therefore, they play games. I can never forget the big games great master used to play. I told you about how he played that surprise trick on Julian Johnson by hiding in that room. Who could imagine an old man with a white beard would be trying to play games like that with a visiting foreigner, an American? I mean, who would think like that? We say, no, he's a guest coming from there. We have to be on our best form and formal and so on. And he's thinking of playing games at that time. I can tell you that these masters play more games than we can realize. The very fact that they come as human beings amongst us is a game for them. And they want to come and tell us, you are the same. You have the same capacity, the same power of awareness. You also go and join us in the game that we are playing. And make the whole world, make your life into a game. And play it like we are playing. Play it like our totality is playing. So they don't want you to be that serious. They don't want you to be serious in life. They don't want you to be serious even the meditational techniques. They don't say, be so serious and glum and serious. Oh, I am going to see God and therefore I have to be very serious. You should be very joyful, playful, dancing. That is why these people who get intoxicated, they dance and sing as a natural expression of their joy. When you are joyful, you don't make somber faces and become serious. You are always in a good state. It is well said that we have 8 senses, not 5. 5 senses of seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling. These 5 senses, physical senses, create an experience for us. Almost all living forms have most of these senses and they are experiencing the world like we are doing it. These 5 senses make us just ordinary animal-like human beings. That's why we are human animals with these 5 senses. What differentiates us? That we also have a 6th sense. 6th sense, intuition. If you only had 5 senses, you would have no intuition. Your life would be very animal-like. But you are above it, because the gut feeling gives you information and knowledge which you can't get with the 5 senses. I personally think the 6th sense is more important than the 5 senses in deciding what kind of species are we, what type of human beings are we. The 6th sense distinguishes us from the other animals. The 7th sense is even more important, according to me, and that is common sense. Very uncommon, but still common sense. What is common sense? Common sense is to be able to distinguish between the grain and the chaff, to be able to distinguish what is important, what is not. Common sense is that which lays down your priorities in life. When we have priorities on the wrong things, we lack common sense. When we can say, no, this is more important than this, I should realize this is more important, you are applying your common sense. Common sense sets the pattern of your life. Therefore, common sense is even more important than the other 6 senses. But the 8th sense, according to me, is the highest sense. And that is the sense of humor. The ability to laugh. The ability to look at things from the point of view, it's my entertainment and amusement. To be amused, to be able to laugh at things, to be able to laugh at yourself, to be able to laugh at the show, and to be internally laughing at even things that don't look worth laughing at. To see how this whole show has been placed, how this world has been created, how these different situations have been created, how the law of karma is operating. Why say, I am bound down by my bad karma? No, rise above and say, how does karma operate? Let's see the working of it. And the whole perspective changes. Rise to that level of awareness where you can enjoy the humor in things. There's so much humor in the very creation. I can assure you, if God, the Creator, is someone separate from us, which I don't believe is, if He is someone separate, He's smiling all the time at what is going on. He's smiling, first of all, at how seriously we are taking life. He's smiling, I set up a show, and what do they take it like? It's not real, and they are taking it as absolutely real. A very abusing thing. And when I say, you are that, then you should be in that attitude of being able to see the show from the point of view of an audience. Become an audience. Seat yourself at a place right where you are now. Because to see this world as a show, you have to put yourself separately as a spectator, that you are witnessing this show and you are not part of the show. How can you do that when you are part of the show? When you think the body is yourself, you are part of the show. So first step in trying to see this world as a show is not to treat your body as yourself. Treat yourself as consciousness, the one that is witnessing the whole thing. No matter if you happen to be in one of the bodies. It's just a plan. It's just a plan that you are in one body. It is a design that you should be in one body, so the act becomes real. It's interactive. It's an interactive show. To make it interactive, you have been placed in one body. So you sit in the body. But it doesn't matter if you're sitting in a body, doesn't mean you become the body. You sit in the body and operate and watch. The point where you can sit and watch the show and be an audience and actually enjoy the show is the point where consciousness sits, because that's your real self. Your awareness sits from where you become aware of what's going on, which is a point in the head, behind the eyes. If you are able to sit yourself there, not once for meditation, but all the time you are there. You are in a body of one of the characters and you are watching this show from there. You are sitting in a relaxed way, in a chair. This body is running, this body is doing various things. It's just one character doing it. You are not moving, you are relaxed. You are watching this from the show. And all other people around you are also acting. This also one is acting. And you are sitting in the audience, in the chair, in your relaxed state, behind the eyes. Whole world becomes a show. Why should that be difficult? Going to astral or causal stages may be difficult, but to be able to have a different perspective on what is going on around you should not be difficult, because it requires a simple exercise. Which exercise is the most important exercise for going to any higher stages also? The exercise of continuously being aware. You are not this body. You are using the body. You are using it to witness a show. You are sitting inside, watching the show from inside, and knowing that you are surrounded by a body, and watching inside, opening your eyes, opening your sense perceptions, and seeing the show outside. That should not be difficult to do. And that's a good starting point. If you do just that, your life will change from now. In one instant life, people say, can you get instant knowledge? Yes. This is the one in which you can get instant knowledge. Just move your attention from being the body, from being the physical self, into one who sits in the body, and the body is one character, body is one vehicle, one is one carriage you're carrying. You're in a moving thing and you move without moving yourself. You only drive your vehicle. You drive your vehicle and watch the show all around it. Just do that much. And you will have the first stage of instant knowledge. And if you sit there long enough, you'll get second and third stages also. The secret is to withdraw your attention to third eye center behind the eyes. If I have been able to convey this message to you, only this much, I think I've been very successful in having this bandara with you. The simple message that don't waste time outside. These are temporary. Don't try to grab this and grab that and look for this and look for that. They are not going to go with you at all. It's too shadowy, too temporary thing. Look back on your life. How much have we tried to grab? I want to collect this item. I want to collect that item. I am going to make plans for getting this. How many goods have we collected? How much clutter have we put inside the houses and inside our head? How much clutter we collect during our life? How many relationships we are trying to make? How many things we are trying to make our own? How many people we are trying to make our own, and none of them are our own? The moment we die, everything is gone. Nothing is ever gone with us.